Hey guys, welcome to my video, and today I'd like to do a prediction on the UFC 110 main event. This event is going to have two fighters highly ranked in the heavyweight division going up against each other for a possible title shot in the near future. What we have here is Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira going up against Cain Velasquez, who is undefeated. This proves to be a very epic fight. Cain Velasquez has been unstoppable lately, and Nogueira is just one of those legendary fighters. Now, I want to start out by talking about Nogueira here. Nogueira, in his last fight, he fought against Randy Couture, and he actually won that match unanimous decision. So it went all 3 rounds. It was very back and forth. At one point, Nogueira looked like he had Randy Couture, and it's a submission, and was going to win that way. But Couture was able to hang on and finish the fight. But Nogueira got the win by decision unanimously, and pretty much showed that he did dominate that fight. His grappling skills and his jiu-jitsu skills are phenomenal. He's an expert at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I believe he's a black belt. Now, let's take a look at his stats. He is 33 years old, getting a little bit up there in age. A little bit older than Velasquez. Let's see, Velasquez is 27, so not much of a difference there. They both have a 77-inch reach, and, well, let's see here. Well, Velasquez is more of the freestyle wrestler, whereas Nogueira is a submission expert of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And taking a close look at Nogueira's wins and losses, he has 21 wins and only 4 losses with 0 draws, which is a great record. 21 wins is pretty nice. If you look at the majority of his wins, they were by submission. That's an overwhelming 57%. That's why he is such a legend, being able to submit guys right and left all the time, constantly looking for the submission and getting the submission. He's just so experienced. He knows exactly what he's going to do to you, when, and how to do it. He has 33% of his wins come by way of decision, which just shows that he can go the distance. And that his cardio is up to par, definitely. And cardio will be a factor in this fight. I believe that if it goes the distance, all 3 rounds, Nogueira has the advantage because his cardio is probably better. I'm not saying that Velasquez has poor cardio. I think Velasquez's cardio is pretty good, but not nearly as good as Nogueira. Okay, so looking at Nogueira's losses, he only has 1 via TKO. So that means, well, he's only been knocked out once. And I remember this. It was when he fought Frank Mir. Frank Mir was able to devastate him with a right-hand shot, put him down immediately. But that loss was very controversial because Nogueira, going into the fight, had a staph infection, which severely weakened him. That was the only knockout of his career. Other than that, he's lost 3 times only by decision. So the majority of his losses are overwhelmingly by decision. But still, only 3 losses that way. Nogueira is just one of those unstoppable fighters. Velasquez is really going to have to come hard if he wants to beat Nogueira. I think his best chance is to outstrike Nogueira, even though Nogueira has such a tough chin. You can really tee off on Nogueira, and it won't knock him out. A lot of guys have done that, and Nogueira just stands there and takes it. And, well, he covers up pretty well, too, but he can take hits. Velasquez can take hits, too. He's taken some big shots by Czech Congo, and he was still able to keep going. But Velasquez really needs to work on his boxing skills and become a better stand-up fighter. He needs to work on his angles, his footwork, and just his head movement. All that stuff needs to come together. He could be a devastating stand-up fighter. I do believe he has a small chance of knocking out Nogueira. But I don't think Nogueira has what it takes to knock out Velasquez. So this is most likely going to be a wrestling war, a fight that's decided on the ground through grappling and back and forth transitioning. If it does go that way, I believe Nogueira will get the win via submission. If you look at Cain Velasquez's wins here, he has 7 wins, no losses, no draws, but he has 0 submission wins. So he's a great wrestler, but he's never submitted anybody. I mean, the whole part of being of using your wrestling is to be able to finish a guy with a submission. If Velasquez hasn't been able to do that, that could be a very big disadvantage. So most likely Velasquez is going to try to TKO Nogueira on the ground, mounting him, pounding him, hammer fist, shots to the face, shots to the head. Those are how he gets most of his victories. 86% have been by TKO. All right. So with having said all that, my final opinion is that I think Nogueira will get the win by submission over Velasquez. Otherwise, it could go to a decision, and unanimous decision will be for Nogueira. There is a slight chance that Velasquez could knock out Nogueira, and even less of a chance that Nogueira could knock out Cain. But it should be a very good fight, very interesting. And the winner of this will most likely get a future title shot once Brock Lesnar gets back into the picture. Okay, looking at the bets here, well, the betting odds, we have looks like actually Velasquez is the favorite for this fight. I guess maybe because he's the youngest fighter and he's on a winning streak. And Nogueira is at 105 positive. So I think it's actually a pretty good bet if you put your money on Nogueira. You stand to make a little bit more than what you put up. Betting against Velasquez, or betting for Velasquez, I don't think that's a very wise decision. Even though he has a pretty decent shot at winning, you wouldn't want to bet it on him with those odds. So, make sure you get back to me with your comments, your opinions on this fight. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what you thought of this video. And I hope you enjoy UFC 110.